Hello and welcome back to another weekly weigh-in update. This is week 24 and I am literally astounded. I cannot believe I say it every week, but the weeks just go by so quickly. So yes, if you are new here, and there are a lot of new people that have started following me this week, so hi, hello, my name is Rachel and I am currently losing weight on the one-to-one diet by Cambridge Weight Plan with my amazing consultant Gemma Rennick, and I will leave her details down below. If you think you would like to get started on plan, it's something you're interested in, you have questions, drop her a message and she'll answer all your questions and can get you started on plan today. Maybe not today, maybe in a couple of days time, but yeah, honestly, you will not regret it. So up until this point I had lost exactly 6 stone in 23 weeks, which was crazy, over halfway to my goal. Yeah, it was just crazy. And then this week I stepped up to step 2. So every 12 weeks on plan, if you're on step 1, A or B, you need to step up to step 2 for a week. It's important for a couple of different reasons. Main one being, like, we have to get used to having food in our lives. Ultimately, we can't take food away forever. Step 1A and step 1B are really good for giving you that kind of space that you need from food, especially if you've got like a food addiction or you comfort eat, you binge eat. That space can be really cathartic to have time to kind of work on those issues that lead you to food. But we have to go back to food at some point. It's not like a drug addiction or an alcohol addiction where you can just stay abstinent for life. We have to go back to having food in our lives. So step 2 weeks give you that little bit of exposure to kind of test the waters, work on some of the skills that you've been working on up until that point, without it being too overwhelming or too daunting. Now, the first time I did my step 2 week, I did feel very daunted. I did feel very overwhelmed. I wasn't in a very good headspace with food at that point still, but I did the week, I stuck it out, and then I stepped back down to 1B for the next 11 weeks until this week when I stepped up again. Now, step 2 and step 1B, the step I was doing before, are actually the same amount of calories. So they shouldn't really impact your losses too much. And actually for me, it's had the opposite effect. So last week I lost 4 pounds, which means if we go by my normal pattern, this week should have been a 2 to 2.5 pound loss. But I lost 3 pounds. Like, that's just amazing. Now, what I did do this week as well, which you may have seen on my stories, is I tracked all of my water again. I got lazy with tracking my water and I knew I hadn't been drinking enough. And the amount you need will vary person to person, but for me, I needed about 3.5 to 4 litres a day minimum, just water, not taking into consideration products, tea, coffee. And I was falling short of that. So I went back, I used the Hydrate Mate bottles, they're 900ml, so I know I'm not going to have too many of these a day, like 4 or 5 of these a day, and I've got my water. I then fill them with the water flavouring, so I've got the lemon and lime in here. I used to always be a pineapple girl, but then I put lemon and lime in like 2 weeks ago, and I've literally been hooked on it ever since. It's just lush. So refreshing in this weather. So I think the water, extra water, combined with the slightly lower carbs on step 2 have really been kind to me this week and given me 3 pounds. So that's half a stone in 2 weeks. 24 weeks into my journey. On what plan are you 24 weeks into your journey, 6 stone down and losing half a stone in 2 weeks? Like, it's just remarkable. So I've really been enjoying step 2. I have been doing some like cook-alongs as well on my stories you may have seen, and I'm going to keep doing those going forward because I'm a rubbish chef. Like, let me just put it out there. I'm a crap cook. I get overwhelmed when there's too many ingredients. I don't really know where to start with things. I've not got the most adventurous palate, and my husband is like the king of beige food. So I think the cook-alongs push me out my comfort zone a little bit to actually like try new flavours and try new things. So yeah, I've done things like the mint chili lettuce bowls, done some corn chicken and edamame bean stir fry, done some corn chicken like fajita wraps. So they'll all be saved on my step 2 highlight on my main page, so go over and check that out if you're looking for a little bit of inspiration. And I'm going to try some more this week, some more things. And basically what I do is I find a protein and then I have a look on here, look on Gemma's page, look on some of the brilliant accounts on here, like Yaz's account. I know I mentioned her last week, but she has some amazing meals on her page. And if you just kind of like look at hashtag step 2 or go on Facebook, you'll find some really good recipes, and you'll be surprised how much you get for 200 calories. Like, it is amazing. I did say to Gemma though, I remember when I did it before, I mixed my allowances with one of my products because I didn't feel like I was getting that much. I still felt a little bit deprived, and I've talked about this before when I've said that if, like, Jamie and Poppy were having something I really wanted, that roast, people remember that roast? That roast was insane. I'm not going to sit and have my product whilst they're eating an amazing roast because I'm going to feel really, really deprived. I'll wait until afterwards when all the washing's put away and I can actually sit and enjoy it and soak in that immense feeling of pride that I didn't get into that roast dinner. And I think when I first did step 2, I had a similar feeling where I felt like I was being deprived of things. I felt really restricted on what I was allowed, and I kind of had in my head like 200 calories isn't going to fill me up. I was also worried, is having that a little bit of food going to lead me to want to binge? But this time I've come with such a different mindset, and that really has come from working on myself over this period of time as well. Like I've said before, this isn't just a diet, you have to work on yourself, and what's up here as well is so important. So now I'm really enjoying those foods, I'm enjoying those flavours. I've not had like overly processed food or like loads of sugars and fats and stuff like that for so long that like I feel like my palate is just like come alive again, and I can, you know, if I'm putting things like garlic and paprika and things like that on my food, I'm really tasting it. It's so lovely. So yeah, really enjoying step 2, sticking at it. I'm going to join you all on that step 2 craze. I know now why you all love it so much. So I'm going to stay on there for another week. I'm going to really be mindful of my water again this week, and try and find some other recipes that I can try that might enlighten my taste buds. If anyone's got any recommendations of recipes, vegetarian or pescatarian if possible, leave them down below and I will try them out. But yeah, other than that, this week's set to be a busy week. I was going to say it's going to be a good week, but I'll be honest with you guys, like plan-wise, nothing really takes me off plan. So like my weeks just vary in just how difficult life is. So this week's quite difficult because Poppy is quite poorly. So she's got a double ear infection, ruptured both rear drums, and got a viral rash all over her body. She's so sad and in pain, and it's awful to see as a mother. Like, it's horrible. And obviously I've talked on here before about my medical anxiety, so that adds a different layer to it. So that's hard. Lack of sleep, really hard, and I know lack of sleep's a trigger. I've talked about that before. You need to identify your triggers. So today, for example, like I'm really tired. I haven't slept since 11:30 last night, and I was going to go for a nap, and then I tried to go down, and then I had so much like anxious energy that I just couldn't get off to sleep. So instead I sat and I did my nails, I had some self-care, and I really just like sat and relaxed for a bit, and it really helped. So whilst this week's gonna be busy, I've got a busy week in work, I've got some big things coming up in work that I need to kind of prep for. I've got Poppy that's not well, so I've got quite a lot going on, but I'm just going to really try and take pockets of time every day for me. I'm going to make sure I'm having my baths and I'm relaxing, or that I'm taking some time for self-care. I'm in the salon on Saturday for a treatment, so that'll be really nice. So yeah, in amongst the craziness, just make sure you come back and have times for you. Don't let that slip when things get busy, because I think as soon as we stop caring for ourselves in other aspects, like, you know, doing your hair, your nails, going for a walk, all of that jazz, is when you start thinking I could come off plan, which isn't an option. So yes, make sure to look after yourselves, but it will be fine. We'll get through it. I've got through this before. This is the thing, once you stick on plan, you get through those hard times, you know you can get through it. It's just maybe a little bit more uncomfortable or a little bit more difficult than normal, but unfortunately life isn't always easy, so we just need to put on our big girl pants and walk through this bit. So yeah, that is everything for this week. I feel like, again, rambly, but what can I say? That is me. And I am just here to show you that I myself am just a mum, a working mum with a busy life, with at the moment a really, really poorly little girl, a really like hectic week ahead on plan, and it can so be done. Find comfort in the routine of plan. That's what I do, and that vanilla latte first thing in the morning just sees me through. So yes, as always, if you've got any questions or anything at all that you want to ask, leave them down below. Gemma's details will be down below as well. If you are looking for a consultant, she consults across the whole of the UK, can ship you your products and consult remotely, which is exactly what I do. And if you haven't already, please go and check her out, because she just lost a stone in a month redoing step 2, and oh my god, she looks incredible. If you need motivation, go and check her out. But yes, hope everyone has a good week. I will check in with you throughout the week, and yeah, on to week 25. Crazy. See you later.